Do you know the definition of every word that comes out of your mouth? Do you think that your definitions are the same for everyone? When you use your words in conversation, do you expect everyone to understand what you mean? Is it possible that you're speaking your own version of English? Let's get into it. Hello everyone, Wallace Russell from CoachWallaceRussell.com. The definition of the word definition is a statement of the meaning of a word or word group or a sign or symbol. I speak American English, and while the language is ever evolving, there is still a somewhat sacred place where the definitions are kept. That place is called a dictionary. And if it is legitimate, it is basically the Bible of words. But just like the actual Bible, we have our own interpretations. From my point of view, it is those interpretations that are one of the primary contributors to miscommunication. This is why I often start my videos with a definition. Question: are the definitions of words common sense? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But it is also possible that the common sense definition of the word doesn't actually come close to matching what's in the dictionary. For even the most basic of words we use every day, we may not have the same definition. If you're game, here's an experiment. Without looking it up, write down the definition of the word man or woman, depending on what you identify as. Write it down, whatever you think it is. With that piece of paper in hand, ask someone else as the same gender or identification as you to do the same. You can pause if you like, I'll wait. Okay, do the definitions match up? Are they even similar? Now that you have those two definitions in hand, see what they look like standing up to what's in the actual dictionary. My favorite one, the one I currently use, is Merriam-Webster. You can use whichever one you like, though I suggest not using one that is popular as opposed popular. And what I mean by popular, meaning has a lot of weird words that are sort of new to the English language. Let's go with the tried and true. How well did you do? Do yours match up to what's in the dictionary? These are basic words. And we are physical representations of those words. So with that, we have evidence of what those words should mean. Question: could we both say the same exact words, both be telling the truth, and both mean the same thing? Possibly, but not likely. If we both say it to each other and mean what we say, are we really communicating the same thing? For example, what does it mean when I say I love you? Ask someone you love and see if it's the same as what you mean. And this I love you statement is a fundamental part of relationship, but imagine that you're having a conversation and you're saying the same thing and it doesn't match at all, but you think it does. Why do we have different definitions? I mean, aren't we supposed to be speaking the same language? Imagine if someone from outside of our country was learning our language and then tried to understand what you meant when your words and your definitions don't match the dictionary that they learned from. In the United States, we take English classes each year of our primary education, 12 years. And even after 12 years of English, we don't always land on the same page. We also listen to the version of that language spoken in our homes and our communities. I was raised in an area where speaking proper English invited public ridicule or shame. So I learned to code switch, as many of us do. But over time, some of those words and some of those worlds merge together and muddy the meaning of words. Many of our expectations are born out of what we think the definition of those words are. Words that represent physical things that we can see and touch are easier. Words like cat, bat, hat and car are descriptions of physical things. So are words like adult, man, woman, citizen, boy, and girl, but those words don't mean quite the same thing as they once did. Things are a-changing. This is especially challenging for words with abstract meanings. Words like love, loyalty, family, trust, and commitment are much harder to stay on the same page with. So the conversation needs to be deeper to make sure we're actually communicating what we think. For example, what does loyalty mean? In your own words. You want to pause the video and then repause it? I'm not going to give you a definition, but I will ask you questions about it, about your definition of loyalty. How far does it extend? Does it expire? Can I stop being loyal at any time I want, or do I owe you to tell you when I've decided not to be loyal? Is that built into the definition? And if I agree to be loyal, what am I actually agreeing to? The overall point is this. Don't assume that when you say something, the person you are talking to actually understands what you really mean. Even if you are using small, common words in plain English, your meaning is not always clear, even though you might think it ought to be. The idea of communication is that you want the other person to walk away with the meaning that you intend for them to have. And if you don't care about them walking away with that meaning, why bother to talk? What is the purpose of talking if someone doesn't receive your point as you intended? What is the value of conversation when neither of us are actually trying to reach each other? Get some feedback, ask questions, continue the dialogue, flesh it out. It takes some work and some integrity to have a true exchange of ideas. What I'm saying is this, or what I'm trying to add is this. If you hear some words and you don't like what you heard and you walked away with a certain meaning, you may not have gotten all the context and your definition may be off from the person you're talking to. So don't jump to a conclusion and decide that they mean something when you may not know and they may not know what you mean. If you really care about having that communication, get all of it. This is one of the more valuable and fun things about actually communicating. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please leave any comments and suggestions in the comment box below. I look forward to reading them. There's also a link below to set up a free consultation if you are so inclined. Your time, your energy, your viewership is appreciated. And if you got any value from this, I hope you share it with someone else. Maybe there's something in it for them too. We'll see you next time.